Reggae Radio on Radio Alma.
This is a radio show?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Punky Reggae Radio. Here we are.
And so we are talking to Diplo from Major Lazor, and we're really happy to have the opportunity to talk to you, obviously, because our listeners are really fans of your music. And so a few questions. We heard that you did some work with Snoop Dogg. And how did that go? Did you smoke a lot of weed, or is that off the record?
No. In fact, Snoop Dogg smoked so much weed that in Jamaica, the weed wasn't good enough for us. So he actually, this is off the record, but I'll say it anyway. He actually flew in weed from California somehow into Jamaica. I think it's the only person to bring weed to Jamaica. But he somehow finds a way to get that Cali weed in Jamaica because the California weed is so strong that even the Jamaicans are like, whoa. And he puts it in a chalice like a real Rasta. I mean, he felt the culture. If you see him at Coachella, he's like Rasta. He got the dreadlocks now. He's wearing all the reggae colors, a Bob Marley locket. Like he went in on the culture, man. He made a lot of records. He made almost 18 records. I produced some records with Dre Skull, who produced records for Vybz Kartel. Schlachtoff Bronx, they're from Germany. Junior Blender, also from Germany, from Berlin. And with Black Chiney, who's Walshy Fire from Major Lazor crew, who's also in Black Chiney. So we produced with a bunch of like new reggae crews. And I'm really proud of the record. It's a real reggae record. Like it's a reggae vibe. It's really cool.
And where did you get that love for reggae from?
I mean, I always made reggae music. Even my first 12-inch ever was with Vybz Kartel.
Really?
It was called Newsflash, was the A side, and the B side was called Baby with Vybz Kartel, same rhythm.
Yeah.
On Ninja Tune, my first single was with Vybz Kartel that came out, and that was like 2004. But before that, I was just a reggae fan. Like I'm from Florida, South Florida. The only two sounds you have in there is back in the day was like electro, Miami bass, and dancehall. I mean, that's where Walshy Fire is also from South Florida, and I was just into reggae. And it wasn't so different, you know. Then I moved to Philadelphia and I became more of a producer, and I started producing. My first big record I produced was for MIA, and she was like a reggae sound kind of from London, and we were doing kind of like dancehall. We were very influenced by dancehall, like Lanky Productions and Sly and Robbie, and then you know, we kind of did our own take on it. And I think Major Lazor is an extension from that, from MIA, from Santi Gold, from learning to produce from Switch. And then I just kind of took the project, and it's just been growing with other producers. Like the new album, I produced some stuff with Flux Pavilion. I produced some stuff with Switch again. I produced most of the records myself, but this, you know, I used a lot of different artists this time. Like we worked with Vampire Weekend and Licky Lee and No Doubt, and then also people like Vybz Kartel and, you know, Ward 21 and you know, Left Side and Movado and, you know, everybody in the scene too. But this record is a little more deeper and a more like a varied sound of reggae.
Yeah, it's really deep. Really, I like the sounds. And how did you feel? Sorry for asking like more personal questions, but I think that people like to hear about the environment of artists. Like, how was it working with all those bad boy reggae dancehall artists?
I mean,
how did you feel?
At the end of the day, it's still just like business for them, you know. Like no one. I mean, some artists I really feel like I made a friendship with, like someone like Wayne Marshall, who always checks for me where I'm at in Jamaica, or, you know, like a lot of sounds like Black Chiney. These guys, like, we're all really good friends. We all like love reggae music, and me and Walshy Fire can talk about, you know, old dancehall records for so long, you know. Like now Popcorn, like he's another artist I've worked with a lot, and I feel like I'm friends with him, you know. Some of the times in the beginning it was me trying to sell the project to people, but I mean, I worked with Vybz Kartel, my first artist, and nobody is as scary or crazy or creative or weird as him, man. Like that guy is, there should be documentaries about his life because he doesn't make any sense. He's so irrational and crazy,
but talented. Yeah,
the amount of music that comes out of his head is insane. Like when we did our first record, he was asking me for pop culture references, like Pat Sajak, right? That's Vanna White on the price on Wheel of Fortune. Like things like, he knows everything. He's like one of the smartest people I've ever met in my life. So, I mean, reggae artists are just like on another level. Like Busy Signal as well, somebody I worked with who I'm working with quite a lot. We did the record with No Doubt together. Like he's so weird and like crazy and creative too. Like people don't understand that level of creativity that's in Jamaica has been so high for so long. Like that you have to just elevate to this level, you know. A lot of people don't take the business side too too serious there, but they take the creative side so fucking heavy that it's like, to deal with them is hard for me on that creative level. The bad boy thing, I mean, I was just there to make music. I was never there to party too hard or do drugs or whatever. I was just there to like make music. So they respected that. I think after been playing records for a while and doing shows in Kingston, even like with Pon the Floor, that became a big record for Jamaica. I think like a lot of people were influenced by that, and it was big in the dance halls. So I think people respect what we're doing now. You know, it's not like we have to go there and sell the project too hard. So I've been really lucky that people have been open-minded, and you know, I've been down with like the downtown scene and also the uptown scene. So I'm DJing like house parties and stuff, and like more techno. There's techno clubs in Jamaica. You know, it's not all just street parties. It's like you have everything. You have Celine Dion, you have like Ace of Base, and you have like they love Air Supply. Like that's one of the biggest groups ever. They love. You know when to hold him, Kenny Rogers. Oh my God, he's like the biggest artist of all time in Jamaica. You know, like Kenny Rogers is like a country guy, so like they love everything in Jamaica. So what we do is not so weird. It's not just, you know, guns and dudas and gangsters everywhere. It's like people are doing normal stuff and making music, and it's just a place where it's always been connected with music and connected with being influenced from all the way from soul music to ska to jungle to now techno and, you know, dubstep even. When I do go down and DJ as a party, it only plays dubstep called Altered Fridays. So everything's happening in Jamaica, you know?
Okay. If you're not bored yet.
I'll give you one more question.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Well, I like the fact that you included dancers in your in your show, because that's really nice, and you don't have like many artists like DJs that do that nowadays.
Right.
And the fact that you included dancehall queens, and before you had like Scared Boy.
Right.
He was like totally.
He's insane.
Crazy.
I mean, Scared Boy has been to Belgium and Holland. He tours on his own too, but recently Scared Boy took a break. We love him. He's still part of like Major Lazor, the crew. But he's actually become a born-again Christian, so he can't tour so much anymore. He's trying to become a pastor. It's so strange, right? But I mean, like, we grew up with Scared Boy's attitude in the first record. I feel like we owe a lot to him for bringing like the daggering and stuff. But it's always time to like move on to different things, and I think that our girls here, man, are like so amazing. Like Suzette, she's the girl who choreographed the MIA Bad Girls video. Have you seen that video? She's done that video, and she's just a dance hall. She's so good at it, you know. So I'm really proud to have these girls, you know, and they're really good at what they do. So I think dancing is important for dance hall, especially. That's what makes the culture always is moving forward with the dances, not just the music, but also like the YouTube and, you know, the way that music carries is through the dance, not just through like hearing a record. It's through the dances. So, so it's important to carry the dancers for real.
Okay, so what last message do you have for people listening to your records, or in general? What's your wisdom of the day? I
think that just, you know, stay in school and do a good job and be the best you can at everything you do, and listen to Major Lazor, because we have a really great record that's going to come out soon, and I'm just so happy like that people in Europe love the record, because I think they take the reggae music and they can understand us moving it different directions, and they really appreciate like what we're doing and trying to push it this way or experiment, and especially all the elders that came out, like the Black Chinese crew or people like Barrington Levy and you know Mr. Vegas and Sean Paul. People that always try to do different things in the dancehall scene. We owe it to them, because it's such a cool scene that we're just trying to add to, you know. So I'm happy to be part of like reggae music for sure.
Okay, thanks a lot for this interview.
No problem.